And it's amazing to me that people take the time out of their day and give us a little piece of that. Like I'm so thankful for it. I know you are too. And so we want to improve. We want to always just bring content that people want to listen to. All right, guys, welcome back to the Make Trades Great Again podcast. Andy, dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine on this Thursday morning.
I am too. We got boatloads of snow overnight, which was unexpected because I have lost all faith in winter happening here in Minnesota. and by all accounts, the weather reports did not indicate that it was going to pile up the way it did.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. We have like nothing. It's like Cheryl and I were in Target last night, and they got spring stuff out, and I'm like, what the? There's like planting stuff, like seeds and like bug spray and patio furniture starting to come up in Target.
And if this were truly winter, do you imagine how that just like tugs at you and just like depresses you almost, doesn't it?
It does, because I had a mud hole in my driveway that I'm not sure how I'm going to recover from, because it's where there's it's where there was a large excavation happened years ago, 15 years ago. Yeah. And all of my crushed asphalt that's over the top of it has been pushed into the clay and the mud underneath of it. Oh. And so it's going to be a thing, and that I'm not sure. I'm probably going to have to go out and get a piece of equipment and dig out a section and recompact and fix that.
How deep it sucks was because it's original excavation?
27 feet.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. You should. I
know where your driveway is. You couldn't dig a 27-foot
I didn't
hole,
dig
could
it.
you? No, I'm just saying,
right. No,
you don't have the physical space to bank it up high enough, wide enough.
I vaguely remember that the excavating contractor came in and said, in order for us to dig down and get to the sewer line, that's to tie your neighbor's house in, and I took advantage of that excavation, and they dug.
When you did your shop?
A hole. I built when I built the shop 15 years ago.
Yeah. I remember this conversation.
Or 14 years ago, something like that. 10 years ago. And the sewer main right there's a forced main at 16 feet in depth. And then the gravity main is under that. Yikes. And it is, I think, 21 feet to the top of the pipe. And so they had to get to the bottom underneath of it so they could put a tapping saddle on it.
Oh, my God.
And the excavating contractor came in and he goes, well, we have to dig 23 feet deep. And as per City of Missoula, wastewater requirements, they don't want us to use a trench box because the force main is above it and it's going to be free floating out in the air.
Yeah.
And they want us to basically go in and do a 45-degree slope back so that we can build supports under the force main while we dig down to the gravity main that's 5 feet below it.
Oh,
and so he goes, this hole is going to be 45 feet wide.
Yeah, it's like a freaking hockey rink in the back here.
And it was this crater, and there was more dirt. They came out, they dug for one day. And literally dug for an entire day, digging this hole.
Professionals that are good at this and efficient at
it. This is what these guys do. They were like, you don't even get to think about digging there near this force main. And on top of it, there's some 7,200 volt 3-phase power supply for the neighborhood in there. There's
it's probably
kind of a thing. Gas, there's electric, there's data, telecommunications, and then 2 sewer mains. So, they dug that up, and where that excavation is at has always been a water thing. Like, that's where, my groundwater from my entire yard and property drains to this hole. Not because the hole's still there, but it just ended up being the lowest spot on my property, which is okay because it's close to the fence. It's not where we normally drive. But this winter, because the ground hasn't been frozen and it's just been this continuous mushy wet spot, it's turned into a mud hole, and I got to figure out how to deal with that. It's frozen this morning, but it won't be this afternoon.
It's probably because of the temperature swings,
I think it is.
Yeah, so it's holding water, but it doesn't dry out kind of deal. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's not ice 2 feet down. To be honest, because of that -24, it wouldn't surprise me if the frost and the ice wasn't driven down, and it's still there underneath of it.
Right, especially
so the water's sitting on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it got weird here, so I don't think there is frost. I'm not even sure because the other day I looked out into my driveway was wet all of a sudden, but there was no precipitation. It's because the cracks in the asphalt, which there are many, they were wet. The frost was coming out of underneath the driveway. I think just the sun was enough. It's been that warm. It's insane.
It's crazy.
But that's not. We didn't actually start this episode to talk about the weather or excavation.
No. We didn't. We just went roundabout.
Yeah. Well, we're going to excavate some things of sorts on the podcast front, though, and we're taking a look back on episodes, and we're taking a look forward on kind of where we want to go with things. And so you and I, as we have in the past, have decided we're going to take a little break, but we're going to take a break from putting new episodes out. We're not going to take a break from recording.
Correct. Yep.
And, we can give you anybody that cares. We can give you, I know it's Jay and Pat, and there are many others, but, we can give you all the reasons why we're taking a break. But honestly, we're not really taking a break. We want to try something new. We've got some ideas on what we want to maybe change up and how we want to bring content out as the Make Trades Great Again podcast, because we're right around 300 episodes, Andy. Did you know that?
Yeah.
We're close.
It's pretty wild.
It is wild. And our thought process has been a little, it's been changing. Like we used to do 2 episodes every single week. We started that pretty early on, didn't we? I'm trying to think of.
I think we started the bonus episodes around 100.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
So, not too long ago or not too long into it at least. And and it's been going really well, and we're very proud of and thankful for because you look at it, you do something like this, and you look at like analytics, right? You look at the numbers that come on the backside. How many downloads did you get? That kind of thing, and it's amazing to me that people take the time out of their day and give us a little piece of that. Like I'm so thankful for it. I know you are too. And so we want to improve. We want to always just bring content that people want to listen to. And we get a lot of feedback. Like, what would you say our number one feedback kind of topic is, Andy?
I think the feedback that we get is generally based around, hey, I appreciate that. I hadn't thought about it that way. I didn't know that was a thing, or, thanks for sharing how you guys have done it.
How you've done it. Yeah. That's where I would have went. Like on the business side of things, right? As far as like the top, like generally like I'd say the majority of the feedback we get is like you're saying, yes, it's like, well, thank you. And then I hadn't thought of it that way, 'cause we're sharing our own experiences, but I think that's kind of all based around just the business side of stuff. So I think looking forward, we've got some plans in place already. We're going to start working soon on just putting together some content, looking back at what we've done and what people have really been reacting to. We're going to try to repackage in a different, new recordings, everything, but kind of brought in a different way together, maybe like in series or something like that. So, I mean, we've done this in the past. People have listened to this same episode more or less. Like, it's that time of year. It's busy for us. We're just taking a small break, and we do appreciate everybody. And I'd love for you to add anything to that, Andy, if we're not frozen right now.
No, I think that's where we're at. We need to, we're going to regroup a little bit and keep the good stuff coming.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we're not taking any time off, guys. For the people that listen regularly, we do appreciate you, and we're going to work harder to bring some content I think people will like and that we can be proud of. So, all right, dude, we good?
All right, we're good.
All right, I'm gonna hit end record. I gotta go.
End it.
Oh no, wait, we have one more thing like we did last time around. You had made a request.
Oh, yeah.
For you know, as always, I say, hey, send us a DM. You can hit us up over on Instagram. You can email us, maketradesgreatagain@gmail.com. I got it right that time, Andy. If you're watching or listening on YouTube, whatever, hit us up in the notes below, comments. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear from us. We really want to hear back from you. But Andy, you had one more request to add to that.
Yeah, and that is send us that a DM, right? And just tell us like your favorite podcast. And I want to just reiterate, I'm not asking you to tell us that Make Trades Great Again podcast is your number one podcast. I'm just saying, hit us up and tell us that, you know, what it is about your favorite podcast that you like and why it is you listen. Ultimately, where we're at is we are want to revamp our content a little bit, and we want to make sure that we're giving our listeners what they want. So anyway, let us know. You know, not necessarily. I'm not necessarily asking a review of what we do, good and bad. You can feel free to do that, but tell us what you like to listen to throughout the day. What's your go-to? I want to know.
Heck yeah. We are on the same page there, and I'm looking forward to getting that feedback and that information. It's a gift, man. If people are willing to take their time and tell us that, I look at it like nothing other than a gift, and I'm appreciative for it. All right, dude, I'm hitting stop.
All right. Later.
Thanks, brother.